So this space of knowing, which I think I said, my sister was like, what the hell is this space of knowing? It's not like this crazy thing that we need to search for, or, you know, it's this. It's when you touch the nothing. It's when nothing needs to change in this moment. And you know when you're in it because you feel it. You know, and the thing is, we have our thinking is running through in the background. It's just, you know, I don't know how loud it will be for you, but there'll be thinking around, you know, what is she talking about? This doesn't fix anything, it's not enough. She's a bit woo-woo, whatever. I'm thinking of all the things that I would have thought. And it's just like, okay, you just let that all be there. Just let that all be there in the background. And you're still here. Because you're not any of that. It's what we bring alive. It's what we have spent our whole lives paying attention to and living inside. And what if it's not who we are? I was talking to someone whose daughter tried to kill herself. She's only 14. And you can understand, you know, the turmoil that he's been through, that he's been in, that he is in. And he told me that he's always tried to control his experience with his thinking. It's how he's lived his life. Holding on tighter and tighter, you know, his intellect. Controlling every experience, but this one he couldn't control. But he's tried. He's tried to look in the future, in the past. And when I talk about presence, he doesn't really know what I mean. Well, he didn't really know what I meant. Because he was like, but that's not enough. That's not enough. I need to go into the past to find the answers to make sure this never happens again. And I get it. But when you're in that state of panic and fixing, there's no judgment there. God, I'd be the same. You know, it would be terrifying. But it's almost like the answers aren't in the doing and the fixing and the managing and the controlling and because the person who is next to you, who is struggling, is also doing all of that. They're also trying to manage their experience. They're also identifying, outsourcing their well-being onto life looking a certain way. They're getting lost in the overwhelm. They're getting lost inside all of it. And they're not asking anything of you other than for you to be. And this is something that we find really counterintuitive as humans. We want to be something. We want to be strong. We want to be, you know, the teacher. We want to be the fixer. We want to be the one who's going to... And in that space of trying, we lose sight of who we are. We lose sight of who someone else, you know, their innate well-being, which is being covered up, which is being hidden to them. And they want reminding that beyond the shit show of their experience, beyond the overwhelm, beyond the stuff that they're bringing alive in their mind, that they're fixating on, that's becoming so overwhelming. Beyond all of that, there is this. There is an okayness within us. There is maybe even just the tiny part of us that knows that we're not that. And it's a bit like what I didn't know this, but it's a bit like putting on your oxygen mask. So I used to flail around, when I was trying to help my daughter, and I felt it got to the point where I didn't know where it was going to go, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and I got to the point where I just felt like I couldn't breathe, and we would just be just flailing around. And for whatever reason, it occurred to me to put on this oxygen mask, and I began to breathe. And then I was like, oh, okay. And I couldn't force my daughter to do the same, but she got interested because she could see that I'd changed. She could see that there was a calmness around me that wasn't there before, when I was flailing around the back of the plane looking for the oxygen mask. I wasn't helpful. And there's an innocence in that. There's no judgment there. So it's about seeing, when you have, you can't be telling someone else, put on your oxygen mask. They're not going to. If they can't see that you're wearing yours, why would they? Yeah, so I know this, can sound incredibly too simple for people. They're like, no, that doesn't fix anything, that's not enough. And you turn around, you just close the door and that's that. But there might be one person who hears something and goes, yeah, that's me. I'm flailing around, I can't breathe. And maybe there's another way. And that person will listen, and that's how this comes alive. And this person who I was talking to, who, was trying to control his experience with his thinking and going through that difficult time with his daughter, he said to me, I had this moment when I sat on this park bench, and he said, I think I felt what you're talking about. He said in that moment there was just acceptance of everything that just is. And there was more clarity. And I could feel a connection with her beyond all of this. And ultimately that's what she's looking for. But I know it sounds too simple. Because as humans, we want to be really actively doing and fixing and changing. And when I talk about this passive space, people think that's not enough. You're not doing it. You're not. But no, in this passive space, there is so much wisdom. There is so much more clarity. There is a calmness. And when I bring people into this space, or bring myself into this space, then I know what to do, and they know what to do. I wouldn't tell you what to do. I would say you have the answers within you. We all do, but they get hidden amongst the chaos of our mind. But we all have this. It's not for other people. It's you. Could that be true?